Welcome back to our community. Susie Thomas visiting with Dr. Chip Null from Powell Chiropractic. And, all right, we were talking earlier about how we're all on our phones. I'm as guilty as the next person.
Yes.
We're always on our phones for not talking on them, hardly ever talking on them. We're texting, we're looking up things, we're Googling things, we're maybe playing some games. But I understand that there's a special app or something that helps us with chiropractic. What text neck? What is that?
So that is actually a diagnosis that has been given.
It's a new diagnosis.
It's a condition because of neck pain due to using a cell phone or a tablet, some type of device that causes stress on the neck.
So this is something brand new since you graduated from chiropractic school,
absolutely.
right?
Yes.
Yeah, text neck has now actually appeared.
That's correct.
And this is a diagnosis. How do we cure it? How do we keep from getting it?
Well, it's something that we're going to be dealing. It's like computers. It's not going away. So job security for me.
Yeah,
absolutely.
no kidding.
And all the other chiropractors around. But it's something we can help and make people aware. So I see, we had talked about children earlier. I see a lot of younger kids, specifically the teenagers, the millennials, as we call them now. Mm-hmm. They are very much involved with their phones. And I am too. I'm as guilty as you are, like you were mentioning. But it's being aware. So it's rather than the head down, you want to have the head up so you can hold your phone straight out in front of you. It's an awkward position, but that's how I educate people to try to deal with it.
Is there a safe way for people to stretch their necks without doing something bad to themselves?
Absolutely. The one thing you don't want to do is you don't want to roll your neck.
Which is what we used to do.
Right. And I remember coming through all the sports I played, that's how we stretch the neck. Well, you can easily pinch a nerve by rolling your neck. So when you stretch your neck, you do one move in one direction and hold that position. So it's front to back, ear to shoulder either side, and then turning chin over the shoulder each way and just holding that one position. And that's very important. So,
how about sit-ups? I've heard that it's important to have a strong core, that's good for your lower back, and now I've heard the crunches are bad for your back. What is true?
Well, sit-ups you can do you can do kind of a sit-up / crunch. And being on the radio, I can't really show you to demonstrate, but there's ways of getting around that. And so it's important that when you do sit-ups, you keep the chin tucked and hold the head a certain position so you don't overstrain your neck. But they're very good for your back.
Okay.
Because it strengthens the core of your belly, which most of us have weakness in, especially those that have back pain.
How about exercise balls?
Awesome.
Okay.
Great way to sit.
What's the best way to sit during the workday? Use it in place of a chair?
That's correct. That's a great point you bring up as we talked about the workstations earlier in the first portion, that they call them physio balls, or actually they look like giant beach balls. And you can be fitted according to weight and size. They're just different colors, just like the exercise bands. So those are things that we could recommend. And they actually make little rings that the balls sit in that have wheels on them so that it's actually a chair. And they have a small support for the low back that you can sit in at the office. They're wonderful.
Is that counterproductive? Can you still strengthen your core if you're relying on wheels on a chair back?
Yeah, absolutely.
It still works.
Absolutely. While you're on the ball, actually, as your body moves, it forces your muscles to work to balance you. So it's exercising while you're working, basically.
And you don't feel it. You're barely aware that you're exercising while you're working.
That's right. Absolutely.
Are there other things that we can do that would be preventative between visits?
Well, one of the biggest things, I think, is how people sleep.
That was my next question.
So,
I just wrote sleeping right there.
Sleeping is, I always tell people, if you could videotape yourself sleeping, you'd realize why you have some of the pains that you have. So sleeping on the belly is an absolute no-no. So people that are belly sleepers, it's a problem for the neck. If you're on your belly, your head's got to turn one way or the other so you're able to breathe. So depending on how long you sleep and how long the neck's turned, it can be a problem. So we try to encourage people to sleep on their side, ideally on their back, but either one. So if you're on your side, you have a pillow between your knees. You bring both knees up almost in a fetal position, keeps the hips straight. And then if you lay on your back, a pillow underneath the knees just to relieve the strain on the low back. So,
do we need practice learning how to sleep all over again? Because sometimes you just cannot fall asleep if you're in a weird position.
That's right. Yeah, we do. It's retraining. And what we find a lot of times is people that have the back and neck issues, once we start aligning the spine and we start getting things back into position, they'll find they can sleep easier in the positions that they had trouble with before.
Yeah, because pain is one reason why people can't fall asleep.
Absolutely.
Something hurts.
Right. That's exactly right.
I'm also thinking about, as far as falling asleep, how important sleep is to heal while we're sleeping. That's
right.
Another time that the body is doing good things for itself. But pretty tough if you just can't get that comfortable position.
That's right. That's right. Well, they make specific pillows for the neck. Everybody knows, I mean, you've seen the commercials. There's so many neck pillows out there. I get that question all the time. Just depends on the person.
I was going to just say, what's the best pillow?
Well, the best pillow is one that usually has a curve that's built into it that'll fit under the neck or on the side when they lay on their side to keep their neck and their head straight in better position. That's something we can help with, too. There's a variety of different types out there. So typically we have a few in our office that we recommend that we can help people with.
If you really like a fluffy pillow, can you form it to do that, to make a nice little lump under your neck there?
You can. It's just the pillows sometimes won't stay that position long enough, so they make ones that are designed for that. But that's the right concept.
What about a mattress?
Mattresses, another good thing. Firm with a sometimes with a cushion or a pillow top. The firmer the better. The Sleep Number beds are fantastic. All my patients that use them, I've never had anybody complain that was wrong, because you can gauge the pressure depending on what's good for you.
Once you know your number.
Correct.
Once you've got that figured out.
Number. Yes.
What about waterbeds? Is that like a thing of the past?
No, I mean, if somebody has a waterbed and they don't have back issues, I wouldn't change it. But if they have back problems and they sleep in a waterbed,
that might be why.
Yeah, absolutely, because it doesn't give them enough support. So, but if it's working, I wouldn't change it. If it's not broken, don't fix it.
Somebody's listening and they're going, maybe this is my career path.
Yes.
Talk to me about that. What all do you need to do? We kind of went over the surface at the beginning of what your calling was.
Absolutely.
But tell me really, becoming a chiropractor, what's involved?
Well, you have actually Chiropractic College, which is the 4-year program, and then you need 2 years of undergraduate in your sciences. It doesn't require a bachelor's degree. I think we're going to get to that point. But your typical, pre-med, I don't mean to say medicine, but pre-medical that gets you all your sciences and your anatomies, and then you can choose the chiropractic college that you want to apply to.
So you want to be strong in science, math?
Math, yes, because you need to take some of those math courses in order to get into the programs. Chemistry, also biochemistry, which is the chemistry of how the body runs, and then the anatomy courses.
And lifestyle's pretty good. There's not an emergency room there, and
That is
right?
correct.
Yeah,
Yes.
and no blood, yeah?
Correct. And I like that portion.
Yes, I think
that's a
that
great
would-
portion. I have a
that would
number
be-
of orthopedic friends that's their deal, and they get woken up in the middle of the night to reattach a limb, and I never have to worry about that.
And you don't have to do that. Yes, that's pretty good.
So, yeah.
Powell also does a lot for the community. Talk about that.
Well, we serve in any way that we can. Of course, we serve God in every way we can, and we feel by doing this, by respecting the body and how it heals itself, that's the ultimate way of doing that. And so the body is the temple, and you treat it that way. So we look at the structure, but then we also look at the nutritional side of things. So my brother-in-law, Dr. Robert, he's a naturopath, so we look at the nutritional side also, because we want to treat the whole body, wellness, so to speak. So
Talk to me about working together as a family.
it's great. It's great. People always say, how do you do it? Well, I'm an in-law. So, but I work with my father-in-law and my 2 brother-in-laws. And then we have Dr. Abby Krause, who's a wonderful gal. She's been with us.
Is she related?
No, she's not
Completely
related. She's one of the
not
only ones.
related.
And then Dr. Henderson, Dr. Steve Henderson, who's with us now, who was with Dr. Powell Sr. in the early 90s and has rejoined us again. So we have a great group of docs. So,
Yeah.
But having a family practice, it's been great. I mean, we spend a lot of time together, and we just gel. It just works.
Yeah.
So not a lot of families can say that, but I can say without a doubt, it's been okay.
Somebody that would be interested in coming to take a visit, give me a little audio tour of what all you would see there. I think it would be surprising to some folks.
Well, to see our office, it's about 8,000 square feet, and it's 2 floors. So you come into our front desk waiting area, and then you get to see all the different treatment areas, examination rooms. We have an x-ray on site, and then, of course, our decompression area, and we do physical therapy upstairs in our clinic. So all the weight machines that you would need to rehabilitate your spine are there. And then, of course, Dr. Robert with the naturopathic approach to the diet and the supplementation for the body. It's all there, all in one spot. Yeah.
Have you ever seen something that's even surprised you, that you were able to take somebody with the pain they were in and
Yes.
turn it around?
I'll tell you, I probably catch something every week. And sometimes it's a similar condition that I've treated on somebody else in the past, and they just responded differently. Probably the most amazing thing that ever happened to me, I had a gal come to me for sciatica, and we treated her low back, and of course that helped. And probably about halfway through her treatment course, she asked me if there would be any way that her back would be related to her being able to conceive.
Oh.
And so I said, well, why do you ask? She said, well, we've been trying to get pregnant, and we've done everything on the medical route. And since I got adjusted, I've been able to get pregnant. So that was a miracle in itself.
Wow.
So now I've had people come to me that we tried to do that, and maybe it didn't always work, but in that case it did. So because the low back nerves go to the female area, and so if there's an impingement and it's cutting off energy and it doesn't allow the person to conceive, you free up that energy, and the body can do its thing. So yeah, now that was a great thing, and we've seen many cases like that. So that's cool stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I can say without hesitation, I was able to dance at my son's wedding. And
I remember that well.
A month before that, I wasn't walking.
Right. Absolutely.
So, yeah.
It was wonderful.
It's an amazing thing. That's got to be so rewarding for you. Talk about what it means to you personally to have a part in those kinds of things.
It couldn't be better. I mean, that's why it's a wonderful job, wonderful profession. Not really a job. It's a great profession. Mm-hmm. And we always give credit to God. We're just the instruments. The body does the healing. We just kind of get it there. So, take no credit, take no blame, but He works through us.
Is that just a Powell way of approaching it? Is that just a Dr. Null way of approaching it? Or is that chiropractic in general, just acknowledging who the creator of our bodies are in the first place?
It's chiropractic in general. And, of course, Powell as well. So that's what attracted me to chiropractic from the beginning.
If somebody at this point has still not decided that they're going to check you out, go for it. I want to give you an opportunity to just promote chiropractic medicine, what it can do, what can it mean.
Something to try. I don't think you'll regret it. For some reason, if it works, obviously it's going to be a great thing. Mm-hmm. If it doesn't, then you're no worse off. And then at least you've tried the conservative approach, and maybe you do need to go the more aggressive route, or the more medical or invasive, I should say. Mm-hmm. Aggressive is not a good word. More invasive. And then you've tried everything conservatively, and then you go that way. But, a great percentage of the time, some people come to us, they're going to see results, and they're going to be glad they did. Mm-hmm. So,
how do we find you? Where are you located, and where can we find you online?
We are located in Belden Village on Munson Street, 4867 Munson Road in Canton, and you can come on a website at powellchiropractic.com. You can check us out.
All right. And I think you've got some maybe audio, video testimonials up there.
Yes.
Find out more.
Yep.
Well, I'll tell you, I knew our time would go fleeting. And
it did go quick.
Certainly do appreciate you being here, Dr. Chip Knoll. Thank you for all you do.
You, Susie,
and thank you to Powell Chiropractic for all you do in our community.
You betcha. Thank you.